preliminary finals are here and two teams will be moving on to Grand Final week. I'm Paul Grzadka, joined by Anthony Seibold for the game plan, and today we are taking a closer look at the clash between the Cowboys and the Eels. Seibs, Todd Payten and the Cowboys, they've done a terrific job all year of stretching opposing defences side to side. Can you break down just how they do it?
Yeah, they do a great job, and one of the things we see is they really shorten up defensive lines. So by that I mean, have a look at the spacings of that clump of defenders there. When they go down a short side or they shift to one of their edges, often they'll see teams get really compressed like the Cronulla Sharks in this example here. So what that does, it means that there's some really big spacings further out on the other edge of the field. So for those at home having a look at the vision, that's our winger. That's our centre, we call him a 2-in defender. That's our halfback, we call him a 3-in defender. And that edge back row there is who we call a 4-in defender. So one of the visual cues we see at times when they shorten up the defensive line, we'll see this fourth last defender on the black dot, or even sometimes on the near post. And that's the visual cue for the North Queensland Cowboys to shift the ball all the way back across. So this time, we'll see them go down a short side first. So they have a little bit of a look down there with Scott Drinkwater, but then they play back to the other side of the field. Now you can see how narrow the fourth last defender for the Cronulla Sharks is. And what that means is there's only 1, 2, 3 defenders marking over half the field. So why not shift the ball all the way back to the left-hand side edge? So you can see it go through the hands of Tom Dearden, Leilua, there's Val Holmes, and the Cowboys score a brilliant try in the left-hand side corner there from Murray Tuilagi off the back of that visual cue of identifying how narrow that fourth last defender gets. This is another example against the Cronulla Sharks. So again, they look down the short side with Reece Robson. There's Tommy Dearden. Val Holmes comes back underneath. Now what that does is it stretches the Cronulla, it shortens the Cronulla defensive line. And you can see here the clump of defenders that Cronulla lose to their right-hand side of the field, which means that the last couple of defenders, McGuinness, Wade Graham, they're the fourth last defender in that position there. So it means that there's a lot of space for the Cowboys to attack. So the third last defender in this example is Matt Moreland. So again, there's only 2 defenders on the left-hand side of Matt Moreland here. The Cowboys identify that, and it gives Peter Hiku an opportunity to get to the outside of Sifa Talakai. Again, great work by Hiku to finish the job there. Will Kennedy comes across and misses the tackles. But that's what they identify exceptionally well. When they shorten up the defensive line, they identify where that fourth last defender is, and they know straight away there's only 3 defenders, or sometimes 2 defenders, marking over half the field.
Great stuff. On to the Eels. They do their own version of stretching opposing defences by getting their big men a little wider and exploiting one-on-one matchups against smaller defenders. Show us how Brad Arthur draws it up for Parramatta.
Yeah, some big bodies there for the Parramatta Eels on the edges. And one thing they do really well is they actually play to their edge back rowers. So Sean Lane, Papali'i, they hit them short on third last defenders, on 3-in defenders, and they're often halfbacks, so they can create momentum. So let's have a look from Friday night's example. So you can see Papali'i all the way out here on the right-hand side for the Parramatta Eels. So they'll play to Dylan Brown, who then plays to Ryan Madison, and this is the third last defender here. Now it's actually a big body, that's Jack Whiten, but they put Papali'i one-on-one with Jack Whiten to start with. Close to the line, he's a handful. Hudson Young has to come in and support him, as does Joseph Tarpini. And what that does is it means that there's 4 or 5 defenders from the Canberra Raiders all around the play of the ball. Now let's have a look at the big spacings out here that the Parramatta Eels can take advantage of. So they hit their edge back rowers short, create momentum, then they go back to big bodies like Regan Campbell-Gillard and Junior Paulo. Run really hard lines here, and they're a handful. One of the things they do have as an advantage is Ryan Madison, the number 13 for the Eels, an old number 6, an old 5'8", when he was coming through the junior grades at the Parramatta Eels, and he's got great ball playing ability. But have a look at how they take advantage of that. Compressed line, big spacings through the middle third there when they go back towards the post. So they go against the grain. Really good job there by Parramatta Eels, where they hit short and compress the Canberra Raiders defence. Some big holes back against the grain, back at the sticks, and Junior Paulo, well, he's a real handful, so you're not going to stop him one-on-one close to the line. This is the other way they use their edge back row. So this time it's to their left-hand side, and you'll see all the way out here Sean Lane. So Sean Lane, really big body, great with his ball playing ability in the line with his offloading. Again, you'll see Junior Paulo out there. Like, he gets out there and he's a ball player at times off Mitchell Moses on the right or Dylan Brown on the left. So you've got some really big bodies pouring through this part of the field there. And we spoke about third last defenders. Well, that's Adam Reynolds in this case. So he's got some really big bodies coming towards him on the right-hand side for the Broncos there. Really good ball playing ability by Junior Parlow. Hits Sean Lane short. He gets through that space. And that's one thing that we identify with Sean Lane. He's got a great ability in traffic to offload the ball. Clint Gutherson pushes through. Great work by Gutherson to keep the ball alive. And again, Parramatta Eels go into the corner there and score with Makasivo on the left-hand side of the field. So great work using their edge-back rowers to create momentum and create, I suppose, time for the ball players to play off the back of for the Parramatta Eels.
Cowboys edge defenders have their work cut out today, on the weekend, that's for sure. Brilliant analysis. Thanks, Seibs. This game is sold out, but if you want to head to any of the other great games on this weekend, then simply go to nrl.com/tickets. If you can't get to the games, you can still watch it on Channel 9, Foxtel, Sky New Zealand or Kayo.